wasn't done with her, following with a quick rear cut and taking her out. Jenny hadn't even hit the floor when the crowd exploded, screaming, applauding, and chanting, "K.O., K.O., K.O., K.O." Lyrical music to my pounding ears. Yeah, she wasn't going to last an entire 3 rounds with me. I stepped back into my corner, bouncing and shaking off the adrenaline, and ignored the searing pain racing down my forearms while watching the girl on the floor. It took 3 tries for her to sit up and cup her bleeding face. Where did all that blood come from anyway? Her nose? Lips? Teeth? Suck it up, Buttercup. This was Muay Thai. The referee sliced down through the air with his hand to make sure everyone was clear on the count as he yelled, 8, 9, 10, fight over. Kareena Thakkar for the win. Everything else was non-consequential. I extended my hand to Jenny. She glared up at me, holding her bleeding face in one hand as her instructor entered the ring to help her. She got up on her own, a bit woozy, and we made a short bow toward one another in respect. During the fight, she was just the other girl. One of the coolest things about the sport was how we could be competitors in the ring and friends, or friendly in the case of Jenny, outside. I whipped your butt. I stuck out my tongue when my coach had turned away. Jenny rolled her eyes and nursed her sprains and pains and let her instructor dab her bleeding face before she stained the entire mat. If she was anything like me, and I knew she was, she'd replay the match over and over in her head, wondering where she could have done better, and then actually do better next time. "Good fight," she said, her voice nasally as she held her nose upward. "I won't be the one bleeding next time, though." "Can't wait," I grinned. Time to shower off the sweat and grime, slather on icy hot like a med addict, slip into baggy sweats, and call it a night. Coach and all of my teammates wanted to grab dinner, as was the custom after winning a big fight, but I didn't have it in me. "Sorry," I called back, slinging my old, trusty duffel bag over a sore shoulder and brushing off the wave of lighthearted teasing. The sky was already dark without a cloud in sight. Silver-dusted stars and a waning moon shone bright. The Texas air had chilled considerably since afternoon and sent goosebumps up my still sweaty arms. I slipped into my beat-up 4-door sedan that only had 3 working doors, onto the towel that Mama insisted I sit on if I forewent showering before driving, and turned up the heat before leaving the now half-empty parking lot. It was a quick drive home, and I couldn't get out of the car fast enough. One would think there were puppies or imported chocolates waiting for me in my room, but there was something far more important. I lugged the duffel bag past the foyer and through the long corridor, depositing it outside my bedroom, and continued down the hall to Mama's room. The door was wide open, but I knocked anyway. "Come in! How was the fight?" my mom asked, a smile on her face, because she somehow always knew when I had won or lost, without having seen the fight. "I won! Knockout in round 2! I climbed into bed beside my father and hugged him. "Hi, Papa. Welcome home." He hugged me tight, wrapping me in an unforgettable smell of dad shampoo and soap. From the sight of his damp hair and barely wrinkled pajamas, it was safe to assume that he'd just showered, which meant he must have been home for less than an hour. While Mama folded clothes at the foot of the bed, Papa kept an arm around my shoulder, and I nestled into his side, careful to not aggravate my pains and bruises. "Tell me all about the fight. She didn't hurt you, did she?" "Nah, can't punch stone that hard." He chuckled, and I smiled at Mama. Her smile slowly faded when Papa coughed and reached over me for a tissue. I sat up to give him room. "Give us a few..."